Say, baby, take me to the water, and then you wash me till I'm clean. I may not meet all expectations, but that's alright by me. I stand before you and I'm naked. Yes, you can have all that you see. Don't know exactly what you want.
Rock City Networks and tonedeaf.com.au coming to you from Face the Music 2011, and joining me, South by Southwest Creative Director Brent Grulke. Brent, thank you very much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, how's Face the Music been for you so far?
Amazing, kind of overwhelming almost.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. It's been just wonderful.
Now let's start off with yesterday, Friday. You had your keynote speaking session. It was basically, I guess, those things that are sort of pick apart your life and how everything started in your career, and asking questions and sort of getting inside your head. What was the main direction, main point and questions that you were getting thrown at you yesterday as far as your career is concerned?
I think a lot of people wonder how Austin got to be known as a music city, and a lot of the questions revolved around that.
Yeah.
And those were things that we didn't have anything to do with. I didn't have anything personally to do with. In fact, that's what brought me to Austin, was that it was a music city. I wanted to be in a music city. Mm-hmm. And that was the majority of the questions. I mean, that was kind of the focus. People comparing Melbourne and Austin in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Now, what was that? Was it University of Austin or University of Texas?
University of Texas.
Texas in Austin, yeah.
Yes.
So that brought you, well, obviously you picked that university because of the music, as you said. What were you studying at University of Texas?
Radio, television, film, and journalism.
Right. So you were covering it from the start.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I always wanted to work in music, always.
Yeah. Now, and you worked as a sound engineer, you did venues, all that sort of stuff. All of those things and all of that experience, growing up in your younger life in Texas, do you think that's greatly helped?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As creative director?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like to think I have a real understanding of what musicians need and want, and I want to try to operate from that perspective as much as I'm able to. And I learned that because I would get in the van with the band and try to help them.
Yeah.
And I had more fun doing that than I think anything I've ever done, to be honest.
Really. Yeah. Doing it rough is sometimes the best.
Absolutely.
The best times of your life, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, also, just sort of going through, what I've read. San Francisco, you were doing a lot of audio-visual and installation. One thing that popped up in my head was, when you left Austin, were you thinking about Austin when you were in other cities working?
Oh yeah. In fact, there was no money in Austin. There was no music business. There still really isn't a music business. It's not like one could apply for a job in Austin at many places and get a job in the music business. It's not that kind of a city. It's a city that has bands and clubs, but doesn't really have a business infrastructure. So I left and I moved to New York for a bit.
Yeah.
And I had a great time working in New York, but moved back to Austin. Then I moved to San Francisco, found a good job, made much better money than I'd ever made in Austin. But I wanted to move back to Austin, so I did. And then I moved to Los Angeles, same thing, got a good job, moved back to Austin.
Yeah.
Finally realized Austin's home, and it will always be so, I think, at this point.
And I've got to save money on all these moving trips.
Yeah. I should learn at some point.
You could have bought a house out of that.
Absolutely.
The amount of times you moved. My God, that's all the way around the country. Now, you've just come out today, being Saturday. You've just come out of the panel discussion, Great Music Cities of the World. Obviously, you would have been a staunch supporter of Austin, Texas. Is there a great mutual respect, do you believe, between the great music cities that were listed, Liverpool, Austin, Berlin, and Melbourne?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to go to these cities because of their musical legacy. I've been to all of those cities and went because of the music.
Yeah.
I honestly would not have come to Melbourne because it's an inconvenient time of the year for me. It's kind of our busiest time of the year right now, except for it was Melbourne. If it had been a lot of places, particularly the length of time I'm going to be here, and don't get me wrong, I'm lucky to be here, but I wouldn't have if it weren't for Melbourne's reputation as a music city.
Yeah. And what are the attractions for you to Melbourne as a music city?
Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to learn. I mean,
Yeah.
it has a mythology around it. I know bands from Melbourne that I respected. I know I have a mental image of what Melbourne is, and I want to make that concrete a bit by getting to know people and getting to see the bands and see the clubs. And
Is it revealing itself the way you pictured it in your head?
to be honest, no, it's better.
Okay.
It's actually better. The people are lovely here. It's a very welcoming city. I knew the bands were good. The venues there's some really cool venues. The food culture is amazing. I knew that, by reputation that it was. The architecture is very, very interesting. It's a very beautiful city. It's green. It's better than I imagined it to be, actually.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, how long are you here for? Are you here for the rest of the conference, or?
I'm here until next Friday.
Okay, till next Friday. Now, what have you got planned out from now being Saturday till next Friday?
I have a few obligations, but I'm kind of trying to put myself in a position to follow around interesting people and that will allow me to tag along with them and see what they think I should see.
Yeah. Well, that's a week's good enough. I think you'll be able to fit most stuff in, so you get that taste and that idea for the next time. Now, plans for South by Southwest next year. What can we expect in March?
I think I can safely say that it will probably be bigger than it's ever been, and that's not a goal necessarily. In fact, it isn't a goal at all, but that's how it looks like it's going to shake out. It looks like it will be bigger than it's ever been, and we will have a lot of shows on Tuesday this year for the first time that coincides with the interactive conference that we do. So it should be, I think it will be a very, very good year.
Excellent. Is there a collective consciousness amongst the organisers at South by Southwest to try and cap its growth, or is this thing just going to continue to get bigger and bigger?
You can't really, in any practical sense, cap its growth.
Yeah.
Meaning, even if we were to say that we're going to cut off registrations and things like that, people are still going to come if they want to.
Yeah.
There's already tens of thousands of people that come that aren't officially involved with the event at this point. Those people are going to continue to come. So there isn't any real practical way to say, don't come into the city of Austin.
Yeah.
You can't really do that.
So it really is a music conference version of Pandora's box. It's just you've opened it and
you can't really close it. And what we're trying to do instead is make it safer and easier to navigate. We're working with the city to try to ensure that traffic flow works and that people can get around easily, and we're working on better signage and some things like that to make the experience one that's still enjoyable for people, even with large numbers of people.
Yeah, I do find a lot of it interesting, especially with your dotted artist areas around Austin that they can go into, have a rest, sit down,
Right.
all that sort of stuff. The shuttle buses from the convention center. I mean, that all that stuff's fantastic, and I mean, if you can improve on that, great.
We're trying. We're trying very hard to.
Yeah. Well, Brent, we'll let you go because you've got a lot to do today, and a lot more people to see and talk to. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can borrow 5 minutes of your time in Austin next year. We'll see how we go. Thank you very much. Brent Grulke here, Creative Director of South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. If you want any more information, you can go to southbysouthwest.com and try and get over there if you can. It's an amazing event, and it's definitely worth getting to. And thank you very much for joining us at Face the Music 2011.
Thank you for having me.
It's Rock City Networks and tonedeaf.com.au.